babes, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jake T. Picker. And I call you all babes because not only are you a babe, but I also like to use non-gendered language as much as possible. I am besties with the new Dyson Airwrap, but you know what? Not everyone has to be besties with my bestie. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you who I think the Dyson Airwrap is good for in terms of type of hair and type of consumer. This is Jake Picker, and I'm coming at you live from ancient Greece.
Toga.
Right after I get out of the shower, I put my hair in my aqui. How would you say that?
I would say aquas.
Like aquatic. I like it being French. Aqui. I thought these were a gimmick, but then I got one and it changed my life. Now we go into product. Product is essential if we want the Dyson Airwrap curls to hold, which we do. And everyone's gonna find different products work for different people based on your type of hair, your length of hair. I mostly like to just use this mousse. It's by the brand Know Nothing and it has no perfume or dye. So I'm gonna stop yabbering and just do it. Showing you how much I'm using. I like to get it around the hairline. And then I'm just using my wet brush to comb that product through. Or brush that product through, because this really isn't a comb. One of the most important parts of getting your Dyson Airwrap curls to hold is by clipping them up using something like this, which is like a duck bill hair clip. And you want to start with the most important part of your hair first, which is the top and the pieces by your face. By the time you get to the bottom layer, if you're a little bit lazy, that's okay. They say you want your hair to be about 80%, 90% dry, which is a very confusing way of putting it. But what I have heard is still cool to the touch. And lastly, this is just as important as product. You want to use earplugs. I mean, this isn't extraordinarily loud, but it's right by your ear. If there's one thing my little beauty channel does that in my videos that only get 100 views max, I'd like for people all over the world, privileged people with the Dyson Airwraps, to protect their hearing. I feel like now I'm gonna talk really loudly because these are in my ears. Am I shouting? I'm gonna re-wet my hair with the spray bottle a little bit. And you can tell I never have to do this because I don't know how to do it. I feel like an indoor plant and I don't like it. So I want all my curls to be going away from my face, but the nicest part of the new Dyson Airwrap is that instead of having two barrels, one that turns this way and one that goes the other way, you just have this little knob that turns back and forth like this, and that changes the direction of the airflow. I have it on the highest heat setting and on the highest airflow setting. I didn't do anything to my armpits. Doesn't matter. Body hair is natural. The patriarchy has just taught us that it's not feminine. So now that I've done these curls by my face, I'm going to go to the top of my head where my part is and go about an inch back and draw down the side of my head to get the next section of hair. So I go here for the first section, hold the hair about 6 or 7 inches from the bottom, turn it on and let the hair wrap, and I like to bounce it up and down to get tension. Tension is a really important part of getting a curl to form and hold. And then as it rolls up, I like to pull the hair a little bit higher, kind of going straight out from my head, and that will help give volume at the root. And you'll see that I was pulsing at the top like this. That is to continuously give tension, especially on these hairs right here. And then I like to take my nails, not my fingertips, because this barrel can burn you, especially the longer you leave your finger on it. So I take my fingernails and I just slide it off like this. It's already in its little curl shape. Take the duckbill clip and slide it in. These really, really, really do not need to be perfect at all. And the way that I know that it is hot and it's time to use the cool shot is it starts to feel uncomfortably warm on my head. And that's how you know the dampness is starting to dissipate. When I first saw the Dyson Airwrap and I was watching a lot of tutorials, I didn't really understand what the Dyson Airwrap was for and what kind of hair it was best for. I was like, how is this different than a curling iron? But basically, I would say the Dyson Airwrap is best for going from wet to dry and styled. For this attachment specifically, you're going from wet to curled. And normally in order to do that, you would blow dry your hair and then you would curl your hair. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is like a curler that curls for you. This is for people who don't know how to do their hair. And I hate to break it to you, it ain't that. I think the Dyson Airwrap is best for a few specific groups of people. The first group of people are people who, for $700, that's like $10 to them. In which case, if that's you, you should seriously consider redistributing your wealth in a very fair and equitable way. I'll put up a list on the screen of different political organizations to which you can donate. So if you're not in that 1% of people, the next group of people that I think would really enjoy the Dyson Airwrap are people who really like to do their hair or are good at doing their hair or don't mind spending time on their hair. They see it as something they enjoy, have some basic skills at doing their hair. And the last group of people are people who I don't really think fit for the Dyson Airwrap. And that's for people where $700 isn't like $10 to them and they don't really like doing their hair. I actually had the first Dyson Airwrap, and at this point in time, I liked doing my hair, but compared to now, I have so many more hair skills than I did back then, and my hair wasn't layered, and I didn't understand why the Dyson Airwrap wasn't working for me, and if I had more hair skills, I would know that not having any layers in your hair was a problem. I don't even think I used mousse back then, which like, God, tragic. Another way you know that you have the right dampness of hair and the right amount of hair is if when you start it up, your hair nicely wraps around the barrel. One thing I also like to do is guide the hair as it starts to roll up. Maybe I'll show you right now. You can change the directions of the curls. I have not been doing that today because that is not the look I'm going for today, but when you do that, you get a big bouncy J-Lo kind of look. J-Lo's face doesn't come with the Dyson Airwrap though, unfortunately. If it did, it'd be a lot more than $700. I watched the J-Lo documentary at like 5 a.m. I have a chronic illness, so I was feeling very ill and I couldn't go to sleep. So that's what I watched. And my review of it is, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. If you lose it like I just did, then put your thumb in and catch it. Before I take these out, let's talk a little bit more about the other attachments. So this is the 1.2 inches around barrel, and this barrel is 1.6 inches around. My hair doesn't hold a curl very well, so this one, don't really see myself using it often, but if your hair holds a curl better, I can see this being useful. I personally wish you could buy each of the attachments separately, but of course they're not going to do that. This is the soft smoothing brush, and this is the firm smoothing brush, and this is for finer hair, and this is for thicker hair. You only have one type of hair on your head. Let's talk about this attachment. This attachment gets a lot of hate on YouTube. People try to compare it to the Revlon One Step, which I actually have right here, and there's hair in it. Don't look too closely. People were kind of talking about how this is low quality, especially in comparison to this, and I believed them. Now that I know more about hair, while similar, they do different things. This has these nylon bristles plus these fake boar bristles, and you get a lot more tension with this. I can see this as being the preferred tool of choice for someone with quite curly and or thick and frizzy hair, because you're gonna need that tension to get your hair straight. This is actually not really low quality like some people on YouTube I think erroneously say, because if you look at this kind of a brush, which is what many professional hairstylists use, I've seen Brad Mondo on YouTube use this exact brush. It has these almost exact same kind of bristles here, and it has a ceramic core, which means as you put a hair dryer on it, this metal heats up. This is how you get more of that blowout vibe. In long hair, this can get tangled, so it's good for, oh God.
Now you're fucked.
Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Of course that happened.
Okay.
So this brush is great for getting movement and body in the hair, and in like shoulder length or shorter hair, you'll see hairdressers pulling on it, rolling down and letting it set to cool, and then untwisting it like this. That does take a lot of dexterity, especially if you're doing it on yourself and you have the hair dryer. This makes doing all of that easier on yourself. So in order to not hate this attachment, you have to understand how this attachment works. These come in like 7 different diameters. This is about kind of in the middle, and it's similar to this. So what I think would be nice is if this was the medium size and then there was a small and a large. You know, if you could just buy all these things a la carte. The hair dryer. With this attachment, you turn it and you can see that there's the holes here. That is a very small area from which the air flows. It's like having a concentrator on a regular blow dryer. Then when you turn it, this is the smoothing part of the hair dryer. It's said to tame flyaways. And actually, in my experience, it does do that. This little Elvis thing happening, or Danny Zuko. So yeah, I like this. So now we want to take out all the duckbill clips and be careful not to get our hair tangled in them. You know, I see a lot of comments where people are like, for $600, $700, like, it better do my laundry while it's doing my hair. And like, fair criticism for sure. That's why I think the Dyson Airwrap, you know, it's like, is it good for my hair? I think you really should be asking, is it good for my personality and the time I have? And as I take these out, you might be like, whoa, she looks like she could be in British Parliament. I love this. It's time to shake it out and style it, but I like to just enjoy this. Just enjoy this moment. Just take a moment to enjoy whatever this is. Am I giving British Parliament or am I giving toddlers and tiaras? I'm gonna go like this and get into the roots here. Toga on the top. Abercrombie shorts since I was 12, so I've had for 16 years on the bottom. And full flippy flippy flip. Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. I feel like J-Lo at the Super Bowl. And now you can take your fingers or a wide tooth comb and you can see that this is lifting and this is going away from my face because I put all the mousse in there. If you found this video helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more non-basic hair tutorials, aka acidic bitch hair tutorials. Get it? It's a PH joke. And if you have any questions about the Dyson Airwrap, I actually would be thrilled to respond to your questions in the comments. And now you, me, and Piper are ready to slay the day away. Stay sassy, my friends. Stay sassy, my fellow acidic bitches. I swear she's always like this. We don't give her Quaaludes.